Esports, sorry, my bad. Okay, all right, I don't get
the HyperX Esports Arena.
Okay, all right, it's, dang, this is a lot. This is a lot, it's really awesome. These rigs, this rig, like, they got a bar here. My new chair, my absolute new chair. He said some of the teams come in here and practice for 12 to 14 hours a day.
You have your own bartender and server that comes up here and takes care of you. Wow. So this is our front of house control room. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Jeez.
So typically we have one person who will sit here. He's changing which viewpoint we're to go to. Different cameras, different games. You know, just essentially everything you can imagine during the broadcast. He's ultimately going to be the one that's making those switches. Riley, who was just here a minute ago, he's actually creating all those little informational verbs and those flyaways, the lower thirds, all the various graphics. So if you see the side panels, he's actually the one that made the side panel graphics that we have. So it's just right now we do it more of a advertising, just because we start opening up the back. That's usually when our guests come in. Over here is our front audio panel. It's one of the two. I call this a baby. I call the other one the big boy. But the really cool thing is, you know, we do everything from taking all the audio up on the stage to all of our remote mics, everything that we're doing for the actual small ones that they put on your shirts for like real interviews. Yeah. And then on top of that, handhelds, of course. This is our lighting console, which they still haven't taught me how to use yet, and I'm still pissed off because they know I'd be playing with this all day. But the cool thing is, this is how we change all the colors in the hype tunnel, everything you see back there on the wall, on our soundproofing hexagons, of course the truss system you see, and then this is just a program just set up so you can actually see what's coming up next, see all the different cameras, and also allows them to kind of see what they're doing right now, just to ensure that, you know, let's say you want it all green and it's all yellow, they're going to see it immediately and they're going to be able to switch it right away. But the craziest part about this, I'm not sure if I told you this, the color scheme is basically just built like Photoshop. So every single color you can imagine, we can literally put into this, and that's how you can do it. So it's just crazy to me. So literally it just almost any color.
I like the setting DJ show.
Right, hell yeah, man. I think it actually pushes the controls straight over to you. We've only had a few DJs in here from time to time.
Let's change that sometime.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying, man. They'll be over here with their headsets on. They'll be watching the game. They'll be commentating right here. But the cool thing is you can actually turn over and engage with the audience out here. So instead of it being just like you're talking to a monitor, you get that live atmosphere, you get that feeling behind it, so which is really cool. But it's just something that's different. Plus, I mean, who doesn't love the glass around it? It just looks really dope.
Right? Yeah.
So,
and the lighting is just amazing.
Oh, I know, right?
Like we were when we were doing some of the documentaries, we were just like coming here and I'm like, oh yeah, let's get a photo here. Like, you got a little bit dark, and it was like,
it might be permanent disabled in that.
No,
yeah.
Nice. They just, the switch is like right on the back. We just click the bottom. Like, okay, cool, done.
Perfect.
So dope. So.
Not only that, all the soundproofing.
Oh yeah, so they usually have more, but since we started recording more in the studio lately, they actually took a lot of it down and actually repainted this section, I think like 2 weeks ago. We don't do that here, sir. Okay, thanks, bye. You're like, too bad.
How's it going?
That's good, sir. Good. Yeah, working hard.
Welcome. A little bit of both.
Yes. Come on in.
Yeah. And then you got like
I was just gonna
the
move
live suite over here.
Oh yeah, so this is definitely sick as hell.
Dang.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Dang.
So the crazy thing is,
what you don't see is what's beyond these. All the sound design that went into the walls.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, this is all designed to be not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go into the studio, it's dead.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
here you get a little bit of the room, so that it's not dead. You want to be able to understand what it's going to sound like in a room.
That makes sense.
Whereas in the studio, you're trying to eliminate everything. You want like no reflections. We can deal with all that later. But
Yeah,
here
I
you
think
want a
I
bit
feel
of the room
Yeah,
so that
you're
we know
fine.
what it's going to sound like. Oh, and
Yeah.
of course it's a whole. You've got a Dante setup so that way all the rooms are linked via Cat 5 cables going throughout the whole place. Love
it.
Dante setup. The best sound quality you can get.
Yeah, I know, all the body packs, that's what killed me. That's what I need for weddings, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I said, I had mentioned to you earlier, like you've got pick your name of studios, and everything is so much more condensed and like more easily accessible
That's crazy.
here. Yeah.
So this is our observatory. So the really cool thing is each of these observers right here, that's just what we call them. We're watching 6 different live Twitch streams right now. So the whole idea is when you come in, we always have something going on. It's also for us as a company, a touch point to educate parents and guests on what esports and gaming really is.
Yeah.
You know, because that, unfortunately, everyone thinks, oh, you just sit at home, play in your basement. Oh, video games cause violence, things like that. Well, because of video games, I got a college degree and working on my master's. Because of video games, people like Ninja are making millions a year. And, you know, it's something like this that we get to actually educate and introduce people to. But over here, we actually have 2 replay stations, so if you want to come on in. So our engineer will sit here, and our tech ops producer. Apparently there's a lot of candy, so help yourself. So they're setting up, this is actually, looks like one of our external systems, our NAS. I think they finally moved it. But the really cool thing is right here is our 2 replay stations. So anytime during an actual broadcast, we can actually create replays instantaneously. So say someone gets a really cool 360 no scope. We're going to clip it and it's going to go up on our social instantly. And on top of that, we can actually incorporate it into our recaps and then also in the show itself as well. So our clients tend to use that quite a bit, so which is really cool. Then on top of that, you can see our various player cameras. These are all on the stage. So if you look at C23, 22 and 21, those are 3 of our robo cameras. We can actually do 360 and forward and backwards 180, which is really, really badass for us because we can do those cool kind of standalone shots, and it's all controlled from these consoles right here. So on top of that, let's say you're doing a show up on the stage, we can have those multiple angles set up for you, and you say, hey, I want this angle, I want that angle, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's how we can get those really cool shots. And of course, there's so many of them that we can actually put them in place, and you can have like literally like 7 or 8 different locations, and then, you know, just that's just what we have. That's not including if you want to rent more or have us include more. Our system is able to be basically expanded upon to the nth degree. So,
Yeah.
But come on back. So this is our production control room. So I like to reference the NFL. Think of like Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas. They always show the behind the scenes in the NFL trucks or the satellite trucks, if you will. So this is our setup. So you have all these monitors that will showcase every single camera, every single commercial, the various components that our producers are actually using during the show, and it allows them to kind of prep it and see what's going on beforehand. So as you can imagine, someone's walking around with the camera, about to do like a close-up on a player. You obviously don't want to show your guest someone walking around, but the producer needs to see when the cameraman's in the right spot. So that's what they have all these cameras for, or TVs for. Then on top of that, of course, you have our speakers up top, just so you can hear the audio, hear what's going on, listen to your people talk. And then on top of that, each station has its own kind of communication system. You just plug right in, and the entire production team can talk to each other on their headsets, which is really cool. And just for full transparency, I make everything sound super easy. And I promise you, it's not that easy. To me, anyways. You know. Then on top of that, before we go in here, which is probably the best room out of the entire studio, typically we'll have someone here that will operate graphics and do the various tasks for various clients. And of course, depending on our internal shows, our weekly events that we do, based off how big they are, Fridays are obviously one of the bigger ones, Saturdays just as big, Wednesdays just as big. We'll sometimes put people back over here, and then we'll fill out this entire room based off the client's needs, which is cool. So, and of course, that giant machine over there, that thing's a beast. We typically only use that one when we go to live television, which is really honestly based on the client. So if they come in and they really want to do something online, they are more than welcome to. It's super easy, but if they want to go to television, they need to bring up their satellite truck. So I'm telling you, man, sometimes taking phone calls in the studio is the perfect place. It's like so quiet.
It'd be the best time to FaceTime anybody.
Right, after you guys.
Dang.
Shut the door behind us. Like,
wow. It's like, this is probably the best audio you guys have ever heard on my vlog. Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You're a pin drop.
You could hear a fly fart in here.
So the best part about this is it's modular, just like the main arena. So you can do interviews in here, which someone would know from experience.
Oh, yeah,
on top of that,
it's a great place to do interviews.
But the really cool thing is, on top of that, we've done stuff with VR in here in preparation for Halloween. You can have those major kind of analyst desk, host desk, things like that in here. Kind of have like a sports center kind of vibe. Then on top of that, we also use this desk all the time. You can do everything from like a Pokemon card trading tournament, and then on top of that, Magic. You can do a podcast. You know, we did an interview with this guy. Our CEO was interviewed in here. So there's all kinds of different things you can do in this room. But, you know, I haven't yet, but I'm determined to take a nap in here. So that's the next thing I want to do.
Has to be the most peaceful. That'd be the most peaceful nap ever.
Maybe watch some Die Hard in here. Who knows?
Throw a bed.
Right?
Right?
Just right in the center.
Netflix.
Yeah, right
Oh
in
my
the
God,
center.
yes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
This is so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Just the forethought for everything.
Crazy. And then on top of that, those lights in the corner can be changed any color they want. And then, of course, if they really wanted to, they can move all these lights in different setups as well.
I can't imagine the amount of cable management you have to do in this place.
All these lights are a part of that system as well. So anytime we're changing any of those lights, it affects this as well. So
That's wild.
So you can have, if you want a VIP room, I can put you in here. If not, you don't.
Just this is worth coming to Vegas for.
I know, right? Okay, guys. So, just had the tour, the official tour. I'm blown away. I had no idea, like anything like this existed.
Yeah, this is like the best game production facility in the world. Just casual here. Maybe the Overwatch facility has some better production. Maybe.
So I gamed, I gamed it like in high school. That was my thing. I was always PC gaming, and then like college hit, and I just kind of fell off the face of the earth. I have not kept up with it since like my high school days. So wow, this is insane.
I'm just like blown away, and this is now the third time I've been here.
The rooms, like, how do you manage those cables? There's got to be like 50,000 cables in these walls.
There's so much in the walls.
And it's perfect.
Imagine being the fire inspector coming in here.
Oh my god!
They're like, yeah, I'm just gonna trust y'all know what you're doing.
This whole room has like 5 code violations, I think.
No, this place is perfect.
No,
but like
no.
trying to be the person setting us up.
Everything's organized so perfectly. Like
Yeah.
it's clean and it's just. It looks effortless.
When they're setting up production, Aaron, who's their social media manager that you'll see in the videos if you haven't already, he said that when they set all this up, they hired the guy from Google that does all of their offices.
Dang. Okay. I'm gonna play some games.
Let's do it.
We have one more game of Overwatch, and then we're heading off to the airport. This is insane. So that's the Overwatch team, apparently. Are they like competing now?
Yeah, Atlanta Reign versus, I don't know who else. We'll find out.
Dope. Alright, let's go catch a flight. Alright, Colby, theory.
Yeah.
It's owned by the Illuminati.
Yeah, definitely.
Prove me wrong. Anybody in the comments, I will fight you on this.